Okay, so I've decided to put together this series of Adelaide day trips videos, pretty much just showcasing what in my opinion is to be some of the best day trips you can get from out here in Adelaide. I mean, I've lived here all my life, 30 years, so I like to think I have a pretty good idea of some decent day trips that you can go on when you're out here, or if you live here. Accompanying me on these trips is my partner Cindy, who will also be my trusty camera lady and taste tester at some of the food stops along the way. In today's video, we're taking a trip down to Victor Harbour and going the long way round. But let's get into the video, where I'll explain how we'll go about this trip.
Ready?
Well. Join us for another instalment of Adelaide day trips. Just now we are coming into Second Valley, just about maybe half an hour outside of Adelaide now. So today's plan, we are going to be heading down to Victor Harbour. But firstly, we're going to be taking the scenic route down there. So via Myponga, Normanville, Cape Jervis, then we'll head back via Delamere, spend lunch at Victor Harbour before continuing on our way down to Port Elliot and Galway. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this video, and let's roll. First stop along the way is the Maponga Reservoir, which is roughly an hour's drive from the city centre, and the road up to the reservoir is perfect for little cars, just like the one we're in. Luckily the small car we're in is just really in this element right now. On this gravel road, it loves it. Whoa! Just gliding over it like an absolute. Thankfully the dirt roads only last a couple of kilometres before getting a view of the reservoir and even getting a chance to drive over the reservoir wall. Myponga Reservoir provides about 5% of Adelaide's water supply and is the main source of filtered water for the Southern Suburbs. Once at the lookout, you can get a spectacular view and can begin to comprehend the scale of the reservoir. Without wasting any time, we made our way back to Myponga before driving through Yankalilla and then stopping off at the coastal town of Normanville for a break and to breathe in some of that fresh sea air.
To be honest, super blue sky, and I really love here this area. What's the name?
It's like I think it was HMAS Hobart, which sunk out here. It's just like a lookout.
Super beautiful view.
So I think this spot's more so just like a lookout. I think nearby where HMAS Hobart was sunk here just for to become a diving area. I don't know too much about diving, but yeah. It's only about 5-10 minutes beyond Normanville, but it's just a nice place to stop off and take a look out and chill out if you've been driving for a while. So from here as a guess, it's probably only about another 20-25 minutes down to Cape Jervis, and before we stop off there, before turning back and making our way back over to Victor Harbour. Really good view of Kangaroo Island today, and you can see the ships.
So that is Kangaroo Island.
Yep.
Awesome. So clear.
Very clear. So now we are just coming into Cape Jervis, which is the stop-off point from which you can hop on to the ferry to get over to Kangaroo Island. The distance from Cape Jervis to Kangaroo Island is about 16 kilometres, and SeaLink operate 2 vehicle and passenger ferries that make the journey in about 45 minutes. Cape Jervis will be the furthest south we head today, before making our way back inland over to Victor Harbour. So we're leaving Cape Jervis now, and we are going to be heading back towards Victor Harbour via Delamere. Delamere has the Delamere Road. It's a bit of a strong place in my heart. Back in the day, I'll say about 10 years ago or something, I used to ride a lot of motorcycles, and most weekends, if we want to go down to Victor Harbour, we take these roads down here and do a Delamere run. I think it's mainly liked by a lot of motorcycle riders because you have like long sweeping corners, and yeah, it's just fantastic.
Today, we arrived from the opposite side that most people would enter Victor Harbour from Adelaide, which is pretty close to the bluff. Here we parked up the car and made our way up the bluff for better views and to stretch the legs. Now if you're wondering what this strange name is, it's actually called Rosetta Head and is a 97-metre grassy mound full of boulders, which is a prominent landmark in the area. You see, I've always grown up knowing this as the bluff, and this is generally what most people call it. Either way, it's a great place for a lookout and to stretch your legs with 360 views at the top.
Okay, so after that little bit of exercise, climbing Le Bluff, well it's just the bluff, but anyways. So after that little bit of exercise, climbing the bluff, plan now is we're going to go down to our little, it's like a deli, just down here on the coast, in Victor Harbour. I'll find the name of it in a second, but in my opinion, the best chips in the world. Absolutely delicious, crunchy, tasty, delicious. Here we are, the pot of gold. Delicious.
After finishing our favourite chips in the world, we made our way down to the Granite Island Causeway, where Cindy found a nice donut store and decided to become a food blogger.
It's now time for another one of Cindy's infamous food reviews. You don't have to do that. It's embarrassing.
Now, as this video was filmed in October 2021, the construction for the new Granite Island Causeway was still underway, which has since been completed before uploading this video. Usually on a trip down to Victor Harbour, we'd like to walk across the causeway and around the island before catching the horse train back, but since we're on a time constraint today, we decided to head back and check out the National Trust Museum, which you can enter through the Encounter Bay Discovery Centre. Understandably, museums and history isn't for everyone. However, I believe history provides us with perspective, appreciation, and knowledge of changes that have taken place, and where else are you going to find Victor Harbour's oldest public toilet?
Anyways, I think the plan is now we are going to go over, grab some lunch before heading down the main street, taking another look, and then we'll make our way on towards Port Elliot and Goolwa. It was only about half an hour ago. Cindy was saying she'll have 2 donuts, then she'll have risotto, and then we can go back and she'll buy another 2 donuts. I think her stomach is smaller than her heart desires.
After having our meals, we made our way over to the main street and had a look around before making our way back to the car. The drive from Victor Harbour to Port Elliot wouldn't be more than 10 minutes. And on the way is one of my favourite street names.
Where is it?
So we're gonna pass the Luke Street.
Yeah, I think so. St. Luke Street.
Hard to film it.
Street. What can I say? If you want to come down and if you want to come down to Port Elliot and see St. Luke Street, that's another sight in itself. But here we are, Port Elliot.
After arriving in Port Elliot, we made our way over to Horseshoe Bay, where there are plenty of walking trails and spectacular views all around. Before ending the day, we drove further down the coast to Galway, where we didn't stop off, but drove around some of the areas where I used to go on family trips and visit relatives. Although difficult to tell through the video, at this stage we had been out and about for close to 7 hours and was getting time to call it a day.
Okay, I think that's about it for today's Adelaide day trip. Finishing up here in Galway. Probably take about an hour or so just to get back down to Adelaide, but overall it's really not too far. Because we took the long way as well, down through Second Valley, Cape Jervis, back down through Delamere to get to Victor Harbour, then pass through all the other towns like Port Elliot, Middleton, and now finishing up in Galway. But I suppose it's going to depend on what you want. If you've never been to Victor Harbour, you may just want to spend the day in Victor Harbour. But I guess that's the idea of this video, is just to sort of, if you're not from the area, or not from South Australia, to give you an idea of what's around here. I myself personally would love to go back to spend the night in Port Elliot sometime. I think me and Cindy are pretty keen to do that. But yeah, I think we'll end it up here, finishing up. Thank you very much for watching. I've got to focus on the road now, so I'll see you on the next one. Catch you.